Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have something interesting for you. This is the RC Logger Xtreme V2, the limited edition of the V2, because I got this special canopy here. What is the Xtreme V2? Well, the Xtreme V2 is a brushless motor quadcopter, an FPV, 5.8 gigahertz FPV brushless motor quadcopter. It is designed and intended to be useful for both beginners, intermediate, and experts alike. And you can use this to develop your flying skills as you progress through intermediate or beginner to intermediate to expert. It has 4 different rates or modes of flying. You have beginner mode, and you have sport mode, which is beginner at higher rate, and you have a third mode, which is actually a horizon mode, where in a horizon mode it means that you can actually flip the quadcopter. There are no angle restrictions, but it does have self-centering. And a fourth mode, which is Acro. Now, additionally with that, you get this controller with a 5.8 gigahertz FPV reception screen. Let me go over the quadcopter before I go into the controller, and also its goggles. The quadcopter itself has brushless motors. They're 2700 or 1804 2700 kV motors. It comes with a 2S battery that's 1300 milliampere hour. It is a proprietary style battery. Let me pop it open and show you where the battery goes. You pull back the top here, and this is the 1300 milliampere hour battery 2S. It has proprietary connectors on the front and a proprietary charger. So you have to use the batteries from RC Logger. It has a 720p HD camera that records to microSD card. And this HD camera is also attached to a 5.8 gigahertz FPV transmitter. It has 22 channel transmitter, 25 milliwatt. So, you know, we're not talking about extreme range, but this isn't meant for extreme range. It's, you know, short park flyer it's meant for, FPV flying. It has propeller guards, as you see here, so it potentially can be flown indoors, but it is a little bit large for indoor flying, so I don't think I would recommend it. We'll see how it flies today, how, you know, good of a flyer it is, and maneuverable a flyer it is, if it has a potential for indoor flight. That's it for this. Let's go into the other items that come with the, what version is this? This is the limited edition version. This comes with both limited edition and a regular version. You get this 5.8 gigahertz FPV receiver system on the top, and the controller. Let's go over the buttons. Very basic on the front here. On-off switch. These are trim buttons for pitch, for roll, and for yaw. This is your arm button to start the motors. And on the back, we have video start button, and that's also for photo. A short press to start photo, long press for video. This button here is for flips. It's on the left side, so you got to remember the flips button is on the left side. On the right side, we have altitude hold. You can turn altitude hold on and off. That's for beginner and sport mode. And I believe it's also for the third horizon mode, but not for Acro. And this is the mode switch. You press this to go from beginner to sport to horizon, and then to Acro. So, and this menu here, these buttons here, are for the FPV receiver. It does have scan, which you press this button here to scan and catch up with the frequency of your particular transmitter here. Menu button here for adjusting brightness, and up and down buttons here. And these up and down buttons are also applicable to the menu, but also can be used to change the frequencies. One is for frequency, cycling through frequency. The other one is for cycling through bands. And finally, its transmitter is powered by another proprietary battery that comes from RC Logger. So let's close that back up. One thing I want to talk about before I go into the goggles, I forgot to mention on the quadcopter itself. It also has PNP and DSM2 ports. So if you want to use your own transmitter receiver system with this, you can. So that's one cool thing about it. So if you want to progress to something better than the transmitter that it comes with and go with a long-range transmitter, you can do such. So now let's talk about the goggles. With the limited edition, you get these goggles here. Now notice there is no antenna on these goggles. This is actually a monitor a monitor, and a goggle system. And it is wide enough that you can actually put your glasses in there, although I will not be using my glasses in here because I'm nearsighted. I see better looking directly with eyeglasses in here. But the way this works is, this actually plugs in to the transmitter, like so, and it uses the receiver on this transmitter to send the signal to the goggles. So you got to plug it in, and then you wear the goggles and fly it with this cable attached to see here. So you can't really use this goggles with other FPV quadcopters unless you have this receiver system with you to do such. So keep that in mind, folks. It does not have a built-in receiver in effect. So let's go for a flight of this thing. First off, I'm going to start off flying line of sight in beginner and sport mode, and maybe in horizon mode, and then we're going to go into acro flying around the field, maybe some angle flying too around the field to see the difference between the two. So to start this up, let me move that there. You turn on the transmitter. Let me remove this cable too, and turn on the quadcopter. And you wait until you see signal. I'm waiting for FPV signal. And it's locking in. And we should have it here shortly. It's scanning right now for the best frequency. And there we go. Okay, and before we take off, I'm going to start the video camera by pressing the video button down. And we have a record. And a record indication in the lower right corner. So we are good to go. And I think you start the motors by down and out. Oh wait, we got to arm the motors. There, they already start by pressing the arm button. Let's take to the air and see how it performs in angle mode. And try a punch. Oh, not a lot of punch on this, so keep that in mind. And how's this angle? Flying ability. That's relatively good. Now keep in mind, I got the prop guards on. Maybe I shouldn't have put the prop guards on for outdoor flying, but I did. Let's bring it in close so you can see it. And there it is up close. Now we're going to go into sport mode. And where's that button in the back here? Let's try altitude hold yet before I go into sport mode. Let's pop it there. And where's that altitude hold button? I'm trying the altitude hold. I'm not quite sure how that works. Okay, are the lights blinking? Lights are blinking, so I should be at altitude hold, I believe. Yeah, it becomes more steady in flight. I don't know about this altitude hold, folks. So I'm going to turn that off. Let's bring it back in. And we're going to land it one more time. And turning off altitude hold. Let's try a higher rate. Yeah, function. We should be in second mode now. Going back up. Got a lot more pitch. So this is second rate, sport rate. Wow, got a lot of pitch. But it does have angle restriction. I'm just checking that. Okay, let's bring it in. And next thing I want to try is, let's fly it FPV. And disarming. So we're going to go into FPV mode. And right now I'm going to hook up the goggles to this. And we're going to fly it FPV. And before I do that, let me stop the video that I just started. Video off. And I'm going to get into the chair and we'll fly it FPV. So I hope you enjoy the third part of this flight. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do though is hit the F mode button and select there. We should be in Acro. You can tell which one you're in is by the lights on the controller right now. So we should be in Acro mode. And I am going to try to fly it in Acro here. So putting on the goggles. Oh man, it is a bright screen. It is a dark day, but a bright screen. I forgot to hit record too. Hold on. I'm going to hit record. Video record. And we are recording to the SD card. But again, very bright screen. Let's get this cable out of the way and try it. See how it does in Acro. Oh, first you got to arm it. Armed. Give it a little more throttle than I'm accustomed to get it in the air, but okay, we're in Acro right now. And I got a little bit of a breeze today. I have this cable tilting my head up. Okay, I got to pinch it, folks. The thumb, it's got these thumbsticks on here that I'm not accustomed to. So to fly this, I got to pinch. I am going to pinch it. Getting used to it. See those trucks go off in the distance there. Let's take it off over this way. Its Acro is, I'm not so sure. I'm kind of hesitant to try. I want to do a roll. See? Kind of hesitant doing a roll. Again, I'm flying with the prop guards on. I got a lot of beeping going on here. I don't know if that's the warning for the, probably is the warning for the battery. Let me land it right there. And what I want to do while we're down here is I want to fly it at least once in angle mode to see how stable it is in angle mode. It's going back to angle. Press the button. Well, maybe I don't know what mode I'm in right now, to tell you the truth, folks. Okay, press it over time. We're going to take, see what's flying in, it's as a surprise. Here we go again, up and away. I got any stabilization? No. So I am still in Acro. I want to come out of Acro. Hold on. I'm going to press the button just once to see if that changes things. Are we still in Acro? I pressed it once. Still in Acro. There we go. Still in Acro. You can turn on self-leveling by pressing the button once. Yeah, we're going to fly it in Acro. I can't come out of Acro for some reason. I got beeping, beeping, beeping going on here. I don't want to hit that pole. Coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. I want to come out of Acro. It won't let me. Maybe if I restarted it. Let me restart it real quick to see if that'll bring it out of Acro. Okay, hold on, folks. We're going to restart it real quick and see if that brings it out of Acro. And video coming off. And turning off on. Off, off. Back on. Back on. And hopefully this will be an Acro this time. So, that's one thing about this. You don't know what your mode you're in. It doesn't show it on the screen, what mode you're in. I got lights down here, but I'm not sure if those lights are for telling me if I'm in Acro or not. But I want to fly in an angle mode at least once with this screen. So arming it and starting the video. Video is started. So we should be good to go. And let's see if we are indeed in Acro, or an angle. Yep, still an Acro. Oh well. I'm not sure why I don't want to come in out of Acro, but that's okay. I'll fly it around the area in Acro. So, and I got beeping going on. I'm not sure if that's telling me that I got. Oh yeah, I guess we're out of power there because I'm starting to lose video signal. Going back into the air, so we're going to bring it in. So that beeping is probably telling me that we're running out of flight power. And that'll be it. So, let me take the hat from my wife here and stop the video recording. So, thank you, my love. So, first thoughts on this thing. And I gotta disarm it too. Disarmed. First thoughts, I'm not sure why it won't come out of Acro. I'm going to try one more time. Because I am pressing the right button. That's the F mode switch. So, and it beeped. Are we in angle now? There we go. Now we're in angle. So it wouldn't do that before. I'm not sure why. But I've got to give it a lot of throttle right now. So that power is low on this. So we are going to disarm it and turn it off. That'll be the end of the flight. So, all in all, yeah, it's meant to take you from beginner to expert. However, there's still some bugs on this. I'm not sure why it wasn't switching out of Acro while I was flying it. I was pressing this button here. It finally did it at the end there. I'm not sure why it did it at the end, but didn't do it for the rest of the flight. So the goggles that come with it are very bright. Good picture. Unfortunately, that cable is attachment. You know, a lot of people, they'll tilt their head, and it was also pulling on this controller while I was doing such. So it was kind of an annoyance to me, the cable itself. So overall, yeah, it's a brushless FPV quadcopter. I wouldn't fly this indoors though. It's kind of big. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Good morning, Quadcopter 101, with a second flight of the RC Logger Xtreme V2. Now, I flew this yesterday, mainly in Acro, and I wasn't really impressed with the oomph that it had. And I think that was mainly due that I was flying with its prop guards on. Okay, with that in mind, I don't think I really gave this a fair test in the first flight. So I removed the prop guards, and what I'm going to do today is fly it mainly as a sport drone, flying visual line of sight to see if we can increase the oomph without having those prop guards on board here. So I'm going to fly it around as a sport drone. Also, I will be recording 720p HD video to its microSD card at the same time. What I also did today was I was really confused with the buttons in the back because you can't really see them. You have to turn around and say, which button do I got to press? Well, I relabeled it now so I can easily see that this is the video button. This will be the flip button in the back. This is the changing of the modes, and this is changing of turning altitude hold on and off, which I will not be using today, by the way. Also, I went into the instructions, and now it's much more clear on these lights on the top here, which to give you an indication of what mode you were in. In the first flight, I was really confused of which mode I was in, and actually, I think I was pressing the altitude hold button by accident to change the modes. Today's flight, we are going to monitor this lights down here to make sure that we are in the intended mode that we want to be flying in. So with that in mind, let's turn this on. Actually, turn the transmitter on first. Transmitter coming on. And we are in beginner rate because we are in the first light. Here's an explanation for the rates. I'm going to press the mode switch. You press it second time, we are in beginner rate, high rate. You know, that's low rate, high rate. You press it again, we are in horizon mode where we don't have any more angle restrictions. And you press it a fourth time and we are in Acro mode. So that's the lights. And the first one is a power light, the white. So I'm going to press it again and go back to beginner rate. And now we'll turn on the quadcopter. And we are going to wait until we get an FPV signal from the quadcopter. And it's scanning. It automatically scans for that signal, by the way, folks, which is cool. I like that. It'll find it. And we have FPV signal. And I am going to turn on the video recorder. Actually, I took a photo. I'm going to hold it down and turn on the video recorder. And we are recording. And again, we're in beginner rate right now. So I'm going to start up the motors with the arm switch and take to the air. Going up a little higher. Let's try the punch. Yeah, still not a lot of punch. Bringing it around. Again, I'm in beginner rate. But again, in beginner rate, it is very stable and would be good to learn to fly, especially if you're a beginner. Put those prop guards on. Let's bring it in close so you can see it. I'm going to go over in here into the center of the field. And we're going to select intermediate rate. I guess you can't select them while it's flying, because I pressed that mode button. So let's land it right about there. See if we can change modes on the ground. I'm pressing the mode button. Quick press. Quick press. And it's not changing modes. Maybe I got to come out of arm. Disarmed. There, okay. So to change modes, you have to be on the ground and disarmed with the motor stopped. Okay, like I am right now. And let me stop that first video. And I'm seeing kind of a pinkish tinge, a bluish tinge on my FPV screen. I'm not sure what that is, but let's start the video back up again. Okay, we are recording. And this time we are in second rate. Sport mode, they call it. And let's start the motors. Arming the motors. And taking off. And let's see what sport mode's like. Yep, much more reactive on the controls. Got a lot more pitch. Yep, it is a sport mode. Sporty quadcopter actually in this road. Let's see if the punch changed. Let's bring it in close and punch it. No, still not a lot of punch. Yep, not tons of punch on it. Now where's that flip button on this thing? There's a flip button. Let's bring it back. Let's try the flip. Whoa, be careful on those flips. It'll go up, stall the motor, and then flip. Let's go back to beginner rate and see if there's a difference. Well, we'll go up higher on that again. Interesting, huh? The way that flips. Let's bring it over here again. It goes up, stalls the motor while it's upside down, and starts the motor again. So be careful on those flips. That's in sport mode. Let's see if it does the same in beginner mode. Bringing it over, bringing it over, bringing it over, and landing it. And disarming. And stopping the video again. And I still got that discolored camera. I don't know what that is. Starting it up. And I need to, okay, the motor's disarmed. Let's go back to beginner rate. And starting the video. I'll tell you what, folks. I want to restart the quadcopter entirely because I don't like the tinge. Oh, there we go. I got, it looks good now. I'm not sure what that was. Okay, starting the camera again. Are we recording? Okay, taking off in beginner rate again. And where's that? Make sure I know where the flip button is. Going up. Let's see if the flip button does the same thing in beginner rate. Going up higher to give me some space. Yep, it does. So be careful. See what it does? You gotta, when you come out of that flip, increase the throttle. or else it'll go down. So keep that in mind. We're back at beginner rate again. We do a throttle or a flip up a little closer this time. Okay, we are running out of power right now. I heard a little chirp. Okay, let's land it again. Go back to sport mode and finish it out in sport mode. Sport seemed to be pretty cool. By the way, you can fly this in horizon mode and do manual flips if you want. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to break it. So, okay, we are disarmed. Selecting, stopping that video again, and the tinge on my screen is turned blue. I don't know why that is. Okay, but starting the video again, and the tinge, the color on my screen came back to normal again. We are back. We are going to select sport mode, and we're going to finish out the flight in sport mode with the battery. So starting the motors, and it is a sporty thing. I hope it's a sturdy thing. You see I hit the ground there. Now I'm drawing a lot of power flying it like this, so keep that in mind too, folks. Okay, what happened there? And let me stop the video. Make sure I got that video. Make sure my video is still in there. My card. After that landing there. Checking the props. Props look good. Didn't hurt them. Checking the motors. Making sure I don't got dirt in them. I got a little bit of dirt in that one. Hold on. And also I notice. No, that's fine. Okay, get the dirt out. This is how you get dirt out of a. If you do notice that you get dirt in there, just spin the prop or spin the motor upside down until the dirt clears. How's that one? That one's fine. That one's fine. Okay, let's see if we can go back up again. Starting the video camera one more time. And we are in sport mode. Arming the motors. Doesn't seem to want to arm this time. Let's recycle the motor, or recycle the power. Okay, I turned on the transmitter. Turning on the quadcopter. See if we can rebind. And see if we got signal. Scanning, scanning, scanning. And we have signal. Starting the video camera again. We are in sport mode. Starting the motors. There we go. That seemed to fix it. So I'm going to go up a little bit higher for the remainder of this sport flight. So all in all, you know, this is a quad meant for beginners to learn to fly if they want a brushless motor quadcopter. Intermediate and advanced would like this mode here, sport mode, and horizon mode. It's got horizon mode too, which I'm not going to fly today. I don't want to break it right now. But I want to give it its fair chance. Yeah, it's a little more sporty once you remove that. Okay, I'm starting to get a beep beep on the light. So its battery's getting weak. Let's see. Okay, its battery is fine now. But maneuverability of this thing. Where's the battery down? Chirping again. Let's see if I can get another flip out of it. Where's that flip button? Flip button, flip button, flip button. No, it's getting weak. Flip. Do those flips away from you, folks. So be careful with those flips. And this motor's getting weak. That's why it went down all the way. So we're almost out of power, folks. Starting to chirp. Lights are blinking. So we're going to call it quits right there. I don't want to wear out its battery all the way. So that's its flight without the prop guards. Yes, more maneuverable without those prop guards. And disarming. More maneuverable without the prop guards. It is a... you know, I had a hard time handling it there in sport mode. So, you know, it'll keep intermediates and experts interested in sport mode. I didn't get a chance to go in horizon mode, and I really didn't want to because I don't want to break it right now. If I do, I'll give it another chance another day. But that was the second battery run on this Xtreme V2. So I hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.